you do, everyone? Okay, remember The Little Prince and Friends? A childhood TV show? Well, some of the episodes remind me of my childhood. So, let me explain on why some of the episodes remind me of my childhood. Let's get on with it! Asking for the moon. The whole plot is like Elijah doesn't like it when big kids get in the way because he was too short. Come to think of it, when I was young in a very elementary school, I used to have a friend whose older sister is taller than me. But worry not, I used to remember her name. Not like the others. Charlotte can't see without her glasses despite being locked, so she accidentally broke the planet's mask. I do like wearing glasses, but what do people have against wearing glasses? It's just appearance. The King's Merry Dance. Elijah thinks dancing is so embarrassing, so he and the little prince just goes to the King of Everything's planet. But all the king does is march. Elijah asks why. Because, you know what I mean. But just because I love to dance doesn't mean that I can get embarrassed if I want to. The Whistling Stars. Elijah wants to whistle just like the birds in his wish book. So he meets the stars to whistle for them. To put it more specifically, I wished to learn to whistle as a child. So I kept on practicing and practicing, but it did come out anyway. Nebuland. Charlotte despises anything cold-blooded or slimy, so she and the crew goes to Nebuland, which is run by the businessman, to see the octobooms. In fact, I do like bugs, but I don't like spiders at all. The spiders make me feel along with the zoomed-in things I look in my microscope during one of the science classes. Enough to lose your marbles. Charlotte's face is glued to that sheepagachi, so that the businessman could steal Earth from the shepherdess's planet. I'm like Charlotte because I like to super glue my face into all sorts of devices, while my parents were snapping me out of it. The sixth passenger. Clearly, Elijah likes marbles, but doesn't want to share. But the snakes all like, my precious! My precious! I'm the Golem from Lord of the Rings! It reminds me of myself being a bratty little child, not sharing her toys with her sibling. The Puddle Symphony. Charlotte failed her rain cycle test at school, so the crew went to the Puddle Symphony, but the little raindrop fell and failed. Just like Charlotte. When I was a girl, I used to fail some tests at former schools. But now I'm a teen, so that means I don't have to, fail. I mean, just practice again and again and again and again and again. The Feather Storm. Elijah is terrified of birds. Why? Because he went to collect the eggs from the hens, but it didn't go well. To my childhood, I loved birds and wished to fly like them, but when I see a budgie in a nearby neighbor's house, the budgie bit my finger. Of course I'm a bird lover! Lucky day. Elijah has this lucky bracelet, thinking that he's unbeatable, but might go crazy if he loses it! So the crew went to the King's Carnival, but businessman rigs all of the games, even has a king stuff! So what did Elijah do? He sacrifices his bracelet to win and bring the king's stuff back. Which is a good thing! Technically, I love carnival games, but sometimes they might be tricky. The big scary voice. Elijah is scared of the choir teacher's booming voice, so he and the crew decide to visit the big black hole in an elderly center-like galaxy. Because other planets were complaining about his voice, When I was a toddler and I wanted to meet Aunt Shirley, or Tita Shirley if that's what I want to call her in Tagalog, I didn't know that Tita Shirley could speak like a man. No offense, but Rose sees red. Charlotte had a lot of things on her list today, so she and Elijah decided to meet the little prince and his crew, only to find him cleaning. Once they cleaned the astral ship, the prankster asteroids wrecked it, making Rose mad and leave a juicy loophole by quitting. When I was much younger, my mom hated messes, so she scolds me to tidy up the house. My best friend. Elijah saw Charlotte with Yumi and became very jealous, so the little prince takes them to the king's planet to find the aviator, only to see her trapped. In order to win, King suggests the crew to play his parody of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, or Who Wants to Be My Best Friend? I had friends in former schools, but now I have a bonding relationship with Moof. We even made our upcoming book's manuscript. It's called One Peppy, One Quiet, and it features 2 girls. One is peppy, other is quiet. Let the music play! Elijah didn't bring his guitar today. Why? Because he said that he was no good at it. So the little prince takes them to our target character, the musician. He was doing a concert about volcanoes, but the little one didn't show up, and so the crew convinced him to be in the concert. I love to play music. I sang when I was a baby, but when I practiced some songs on piano, it made me want to participate playing piano. So why not? There's time for everything! Charlotte couldn't keep quiet when she has so many questions at the library, so the crew sets off to the astronomer, who suggests them to be quiet because of the dark hole. The louder, the bigger the dark hole gets. When I was younger, I became impatient when I asked Mom anything while she's busy. She suggested me to stay quiet while she's busy. The Star Mail Express. The teacher announced that the students are going to the pool. Elijah doesn't want to go there because he's afraid of heights. So Aviator has a mission for him. She wants him to deliver the mail to everyone in the galaxy, especially the king's birthday present. Even when she gives him Jojo, the backpack. When the present was about to fall down, Elijah uses the bag to dive down and retrieve it. I used to deliver mail for my fellow people, and then I received some letters, which is good. Roaming robots. Charlotte accidentally broke Elijah's model plane. So what did she do? She lied! And then the robots from a businessman came along to wreak havoc. In the end, they apologized to the businessman for doing monkey business. When I was younger, I used to break the chargers. I apologized and everything was forgotten. By the light of Illumilux. Charlotte has goosebumps because she is afraid of the dark, so the little prince and the crew decided to meet the lamplighter. He needs fuel for his magical rod. Snake was there also, because it's precious! Sorry. I feared the dark when I was a young kid, but now I've conquered it by sleeping. The leading light. Charlotte doesn't think that her artwork is as much as beautiful as Neela's. So the crew and the lamplighter meet the lighthouse to help him shine bright again. As a little toddler, my drawings are stick people. So as a nostalgic upgrade, throughout the years, I improved a little more shaping. Monster alert. Charlotte hates it when Valentine is throwing waste, rubbish, and garbage everywhere. So the crew meets the Great Star Painter. She is dismayed because of the trash planet, which is actually Daisy. So the crew sets off to find the culprit. Answer, the businessman. I learned this when I was a child, throwing the junk into the correct trash bins. I'm like Charlotte, seeing the junk on the lanes.